Hi.
Hello, welcome to Knock Knock Hi with the Glaucum Fleckens. I am Dr. Glaucum Flecken.
Wow. I am Lady Glaucum Flecken.
I don't know, I was just feeling my mood.
Are you in a bad mood?
No, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm in a energized,
Oh, that coffee kicked in.
caffeinated mood.
All right.
I took a midday nap.
And then a cup of coffee.
You know, one of those naps where you wake up and you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, you just totally...
You were like deeply asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just surprising. I don't normally like sleep that deeply like during a nap, but
Yeah.
man.
I know we had to
I had
try
it.
2 or 3 times to wake you up when it was time to come record.
I love a good nap. Whenever you were in high school, did you take a nap? I took a nap like every day when I came home from high school.
No, when I came, okay,
like 2
listen.
o'clock in the afternoon.
When I was, you're not going to like this answer, but when I got done with school, then I had
To work like
one
12 hours.
after school job.
Yeah,
and
I
then
get
like
it.
2
Yeah.
days a week, I then after the first one went to the second after school job. And then I got to go home, but by then it was like 7. And so then I needed to get my homework done.
Well,
So
aren't you something?
not all of us had the privilege of going home and being able to nap.
I worked in the summers.
Good for you.
Hmm.
That's something. And that was kind of a job.
I delivered Domino's pizza.
Well, that part was a job. I was thinking of your textbook job.
Oh yeah, that wasn't so much of a job, but
Yeah.
delivering pizzas for Domino's was not a great job, but we had some fun with it.
I'm sure you did. There
We
was
made all kinds of stuff.
a pizza ball, if I recall correctly.
We basically like had all the leftover ingredients.
Yeah.
Use stuff, just extra stuff. We just put it all together and we made like one giant like pizza ball.
So why not do it flat? Just like toss it
I don't
all.
know.
Did you not have enough dough for a full pizza?
We wanted to put it all inside of the like.
You wanted to make like a calzone.
Yeah, but like at a ball. I don't know. I was like 17 years old. Like I don't know what the hell I was doing.
So then did you put it in the oven? You cook it?
Yep, we cooked it. I also took a nap in the walk-in freezer.
You napped at work.
Yeah. I told you I was accustomed to taking afternoon naps. I was very cold, so I did not it did not last long. It was like maybe like a little 10-minute cat nap.
In the freezer.
Yeah. It's hot in Texas.
What if you had fallen asleep in there for like a long time? And
they knew I was in there.
Frostbite?
They knew I was in there. It was like cold, but it wasn't that cold.
And this is like in the middle of the day?
It wasn't really. It was more like a refrigerator, like a walk-in refrigerator. It wasn't like a freezer.
Okay, that's
it was like a refrigerator. Is where they kept all the dough. They didn't want it frozen, but it was cold.
Right.
So it was chilly. It was like, oh man, going in there. I was walking in there after you're like, I'm driving around. The air conditioning barely worked in my car.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100 degrees in Texas, and you're making runs. You're delivering. Like I have. Not only does my air conditioning like kind of work, but also I am sitting there in the cab of my truck, my little like Mazda truck, with like 10 hot, piping hot pizzas.
Right.
It's like the internal temperature was like.
Did you not have one of those little bags that you got to keep them all in?
It doesn't matter. It was like still like you could just feel the heat coming off of all that. It was just I was just like sitting on the surface of the sun, and so. Coming in to the Domino's store from my hot car with my hot pizzas and just laying down in the walk-in refrigerator.
You were just a pretty little princess.
It was almost as good of a feeling as eating Domino's pizza itself.
Yeah, how much Domino's did you eat during that time?
So much. I could not eat Domino's pizza for a long time after that. It took probably until we started having kids.
And now they want to.
Now
order
they
Domino's.
like Domino's. They're
What are your thoughts on tipping the delivery guy? Like, are you now a very generous tipper because of your time there?
Actually, yes. I mean, I've always tipped, but like
right, but like, are you like extra?
I am
nice
extra
to the Domino's delivery?
Definitely,
yeah,
absolutely. Like that job sucks.
Yeah.
It's bad. And, but it's like, they're bringing, they're delivering food to my doorstep.
Yeah.
Like,
saving you from
how
having
luxurious is that?
Yeah.
And so, of course, I'm going to like tip heavily.
Right.
And because I know what that felt like. And so,
should we invite them in to nap in our refrigerator?
and by the way,
time?
That's a good idea.
I don't know if
It's
they
not
fit,
that big
though.
enough. They would not fit. I've never experienced more road rage than delivering pizzas.
Because you have that like guarantee.
Not the guarantee. It's just the faster I can deliver these pizzas, the faster I can get my next
Get out
delivery.
Of this hot place.
Well, no, I can go get another order. I can make more money.
Oh, okay. I see.
Right?
Yeah.
So like every red light I hit,
Oh, I can picture it right now. I know exactly how you reacted.
I just pissed.
Yep.
It's like the world is out to get me, a 17-year-old delivering pizzas for Domino's. That was like the worst thing in the world. I got like you get stuck behind a train or, oh my God, it was brutal.
Yeah. Now think about how all the Amazon delivery people probably feel.
I know. I mean, so shout out to all the delivery drivers.
All the delivery people,
whatever you're doing. Did you ever deliver? What was your? I know you worked for your parents at the
they had a
bovine supply line.
That's right. They had a dairy supply store. All the supplies that the dairies needed.
And you swept the floors.
Well, when I was 10, I swept the floors.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's how I started. I worked my way up to accounts receivable, accounts payable by the end, not to brag.
What'd you do with your money when you were 10 years old?
I saved it, and when I was...
What was the first purchase you remember making?
A car.
So you were saving since you were 10 years old for a car?
I just saved.
Right.
I'm a saver.
Where'd you put the money?
In a bank account, in a savings account.
Oh, you'd have like a stash of cash?
No, this was back in the day when you got a check. And you had to go sign the back of the check and physically take it to the bank.
Okay, gotcha.
And like deposit your check or cash your check.
Yeah, okay.
So I just would deposit it. Yeah, because what am I going to go around and buy in the middle of rural Texas as a 10-year-old? Like
candy?
Amazon didn't exist.
Candy?
Like I couldn't get to anywhere that would sell me anything.
Dirt?
Pretty much.
Tumbleweeds?
I played on silage piles for fun. I mean, this was my childhood. There was I didn't get to nap in the middle of the day, okay?
Explain to the people what silage is.
I'm not even entirely sure. It's like a waste product, not like what am I trying to say? It's not
biological waste.
Is what I'm trying to say.
It's not manure.
No, it's not manure. It's like waste from like the feed materials.
Okay.
Corn and I don't know, hay.
I'm not
real
better.
sure what was in there. It smelled bad. I'm not gonna lie. But they would pile it in these great big piles. So it was like a hill. It was the only hill.
Like queen of the silage pile.
Yeah. I think we did do a lot of like knocking each other off and like rolling down the side.
My dad tells me about how him and his brothers would throw like cow patties at each other.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like being in the country.
It's a different way of life. And it's been interesting watching you, a city boy who took naps after school. I'm never gonna, this really bothers me.
Fair enough. All right. So speaking of being in the country, I have a story about bats.
Okay.
From the news.
Okay.
Let's take a break and we'll come back with it.
Okay.
Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
I know that you love when I talk about the cute little mites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I thought we could take a break from that. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Yeah, because I'd like to focus on the eyelid symptoms and disease that an overgrowth of Demodex causes.
Okay, I like that idea. No mite talk.
So Demodex blepharitis, it often gets misdiagnosed or just missed entirely because a lot of symptoms overlap with other eye conditions.
Okay, so what are the top symptoms that people should look out for?
Usually itching along the eyelid margins, swelling, irritation, redness.
That sounds like it could be allergies or lots of other things, too.
It could be a lot of things, but exactly. And the key is if your doctor spots crusties. on the margin of the eyelid.
Technical term.
Well, we call them collarettes, but crusties is a good term. That tells you it's Demodex blepharitis right there.
Well, I really like that there's a clear sign to know for sure.
And once you're diagnosed, there's a prescription eye drop treatment available for this disease.
Oh, that is good to know.
To learn about the common symptoms of Demodex blepharitis and more, visit miteslovelids.com. Again, that's miteslovelids.com to learn more. This ad is brought to you by Tarsus Pharmaceuticals. Hey, Kristin?
Yeah.
There's this podcast that's every clinician should listen to.
Ooh, what is it?
It's called the Sepsis Spectrum. It's all about sepsis, which is a really important topic.
It sounds like a big deal.
It is. And it's not just like fluff and, your typical CE. It's like gripping narratives.
Ooh, I love a gripping narrative.
Yeah, fascinating to listen to. And so you're having fun listening to it and learning.
Gripping narrative and CE.
Yeah.
You don't hear those two things often
The Sepsis
together.
Spectrum by Sepsis Alliance and critical care educator Nicole Kupchik. You can listen to the Sepsis Spectrum wherever you get your podcast or watch it on Sepsis Alliance's YouTube channel. To learn about how you can earn free nursing CE credits just by listening, visit sepsispodcast.org. All right, we have a story out of Grand Teton National Park. I'm just going to read the headline. Okay. It's a great headline. Hundreds may have been exposed to rabies at bat-infested cabins in Grand Teton National Park. This is crazy. So health officials are working to alert hundreds of people in dozens of states. Apparently all the bats decided just to take they're reclaiming their territory is what they're doing.
I guess so.
And so all these people in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park over the last few months have been exposed to just hundreds of bats, a bunch of cabins. Some of the bats were tested positive for rabies. And so it's just an absolute mess. Because we have bats in our...
this does make me feel great. We have bats in the eaves of our roof, right? Like, it's the part that's like the roof over our bedroom. This does not make me feel good.
I know that you always get... So if you come into physical contact with a bat...
Yeah, you got to get your rabies shot.
You got to get your rabies shot. But the thing is, like, what about if the bats are, like, kind of close to you?
Like what's just flying around?
Like, how would you know? Like, all these people.
Yeah.
Like, say you went to a cabin, maybe you saw some bats, but you didn't actually come into contact with any bats. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you have these health officials. They're like,
well, I think
in the cabin you were in, there were bats. Like, what do you do?
So the issue is that you sleep.
Right.
And so you don't know whether you actually came into physical contact with a bat.
Sucking on your blood while you're sleeping?
Or whatever they do. I don't know. How is rabies spread?
I think it's...
Is it just any bodily fluid?
Good question. I should know this. Whether or not it's like airborne thing or not. It's not.
Or is it
I think it's like saliva. It's anything. I think you got to come into contact with something.
Yeah,
with the virus.
If you're sleeping where bats are.
I don't think it's an airborne virus.
We can solve this problem. We are primates and we can use our tools.
Let's just talk all about rabies today.
What's rabies transmission?
All right, I will tell you while you're looking that up that the rabies prophylactic regimen. What?
It says it's typically transmitted through a bite, but it can, while less common, transmission can also occur if saliva from an infected animal enters an open wound, the eyes, nose, or mouth.
So saliva. So don't let a bat spit on you.
Right, but so if you're sleeping where bats are, you don't know if a bat spit on you. And you don't want to take a chance with a disease that will surely kill you.
True, yes. But it's not trivial to get the rabies vaccine. So it's a 5-shot. I didn't know this. I knew it was like a couple.
A series.
It's 5 shots. 5 shots over a 2-week period. Soon after exposure is highly effective at preventing illness. And we're not talking about just any old illness. This is like 100% fatal illness, basically.
And in a rough way to go, too.
Right. And so, like, all these poor people that were in, like, these cabins all over Wyoming, who, here we go. Health officials are recommending prophylactic shots for people who fit certain criteria, such as deep sleepers who found a bat in their room and children too young to say that they had seen a bat. Dang.
See, it's like because you just don't know.
I wonder how much it costs to get the rabies vaccine.
I don't think it's cheap, and I think it hurts a lot.
Yeah, I have heard it's painful.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have some listeners like give us some real on the ground experience.
Yeah.
I guess
vaccines. That would be maybe who would be giving those? Emergency medicine. But
if it's like no, people would come into the emergency department and be like, I was bit by a bat,
right?
Or a bat landed on me or something.
Yeah. So that would be the first shot, but like I think they're spread out over time, right?
So you'd probably, I don't know, you'd figure it out.
PCP.
Well, maybe your primary care. I don't know how quickly you have to, be prophylaxed against it, but
I was said it within the first couple weeks.
But the emergency departments, they will set up like follow-ups for people like you when you burned your hand. They're like, why don't you come back and get your wound checked out?
Right.
So they'll do that. They'll like schedule, real quick visits where you come in, get a second shot. Or in my experience as an ophthalmologist, like if there's someone with optic neuritis, acute onset optic neuritis, who would qualify for IV steroid treatment, we set that up sometimes through the emergency department. So because they show up there, they'll get their first dose and then they have to come back to get the next dose the next day and so on and so forth. So
they go back to the emergency department.
Yeah. So that's the thing that happens. But man,
I wonder how common it is to see rabies as an emergency physician, like, or to see, full-blown rabies for sure. But then even just to see people that like have been potentially exposed to rabies and getting the shots, like how common does that occur? How often?
I don't know. They were trying to reach people in 38 states and 7 countries through those states' health agencies. Because I guess
people just like disperse.
Yeah, everybody comes to Grand Teton because it's beautiful, and
they
then
didn't know
they
it
leave
in time.
Sheesh.
I guess before everybody left.
What a disaster!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel bad for those people. Can you imagine wondering if maybe you have rabies? Like just the stress of that situation.
Especially the kids. They're talking about the kids.
Or you're right. Like, if your kid has rabies. Oh my gosh.
Bats typically live in colonies of 30 to 100 individuals.
Ugh. I know there are people that like bats, and I know you're one of them. For me, bats are so gross.
I did undergraduate research in bats.
I know you did.
Bat phylogeny. I was figuring out which North American bats were related to other North American bats and how closely they were related. Cool stuff.
That involved doing what?
I picked up a lot of chicks with that.
I do think that you waited a while to reveal that after we met.
I was doing PCRs. I was doing gel electrophoresis.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing DNA sequencing. And what did it amount to? Like, not much.
Yeah.
I got one.
I think you were on a paper, right?
I was on one paper. I had I did one poster at the Texas Mammalogy Society in Junction, Texas.
Ooh.
Remember Junction?
Mm-hmm. Vaguely.
It was way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to talk something. I guess that is pretty serious, the bat thing. But anyway, let's talk about healthcare related stuff.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I think we've been doing that, but is there something in particular on your mind?
So, actually something that Dr. Elisabeth Potter posted about not too long ago about hard truths and things we need to really seriously talk about, which is how do we just cut off health insurance? These health insurance companies are causing so much damage and financial and physical stress, and they're pushing people out of practice. We're losing doctors because of it, where patients are suffering, and all at the hands of these health insurance companies. And so Dr. Elisabeth Potter, which is not, this is something that a lot of people have been talking about and actually doing, but talking about, how do you just go to a system where it's just, people paying for the services of their physician, right? Instead of
like self-pay.
going through an intermediary, a middleman, which is all insurance is. Just like there's no reason health insurance has to exist.
Right.
Actually, I'll qualify that. Health insurance, what we need health insurance for is like catastrophic, horrible things. That is really what insurance is supposed to be for.
Yeah.
Life
it's not
insurance.
Supposed to be for like stuff that's $200 and go have it done. It's routine, and then you get a bill for $4,500.
Right. It's like think life insurance, right? Like worst case, you die and you're insuring yourself like this worst horrible scenario.
Right.
I mean, that's what health insurance should be, right? So it's catastrophes. You get cancer. You have a horrible
conditions.
accident where you break both your legs climbing a ladder, even though you're not supposed to climb ladders. Do you know that you're not supposed to climb ladders?
Then why do ladders exist?
For the people that are ladder experts.
How are you supposed to get to high places?
You'd be tall like me. That's all. And if you can't, well, wasn't worth reaching. So. Anyway, so that's like the point of health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been talking about health insurance for years, and I always get these comments from primary care. This is where it really started. Like, I think primary care is like kind of the nesting ground for this idea.
Okay.
They call it direct primary care, DPC. And so I've had people reach out to me, you should do a video about DPC. You should do, and it's not really. It wasn't really until recently, with how terrible health insurance has, like what it's become. It's been bad for a long time, but it seems to be getting
worse and worse. Yeah,
they're accumulating more power. They're consolidating everything. They're pushing people out of private practice. They're buying up practices.
Capitalism, right? We're in this supposedly free market, but now it's like their prices are so much higher than if you just were to self-pay much of the time.
Right. So
it's like that's not even. They're just driving themselves. They're competing with themselves almost by setting their prices too high.
I'll say that and so the question that some people might be asking, well, why didn't you like talk about this? Like, why did you not support this idea?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like that I didn't support it.
I was going to say, yeah.
I was just, my concern about doing this is how many people it would leave behind.
Right.
In terms of...
There are some people that need the health insurance model as it is, yeah.
And that kind of model might work for primary care, but that it's so much more difficult when you get into like surgical fields, things that were with higher price tag treatments.
Well, so what's an example?
Chemotherapy.
Wouldn't that be catastrophic? Like if you were to have a catastrophic policy...
Right.
And then self-pay everything else, which I think is what Dr. Potter was proposing to think about. Is there anything that would get left? Like what would that not cover? I think it wouldn't cover a lot of chronic things, it sounds like, because it's not like catastrophe.
Like your routine medications, your routine visit, anything routine, kind of general like x-rays, maybe even CT scans, I don't know, MRI. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, what is covered under like a catastrophic plan? I'm not sure. But that was like the hesitation I had was like, how much can you kind of generalize this idea of like cash pay? People call it concierge medicine. But basically, it's like you pay your primary care doctor X amount of money per month, and you get unlimited visits if you need them. You get...
Well, why would you do that instead of just pay for what you use?
Well, it's just a different way of doing it.
Oh.
Some people do like kind of a subscription model, basically, or you can do it where you're like pay for services.
Pay as you go.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the concern is like, okay, well, what do you do about, that doesn't circumvent the need for like this catastrophic coverage? Like you would still have to have that.
Right. And it runs the risk of like now prices are
you're risking it.
Cheaper for certain people and more expensive for others, and like there's maybe not some
Right.
equity in there.
Yeah. And then you have, when I've brought that argument up, like, okay, well, what about poor people?
Hmm.
Like they're not going to be able to, for the most part, spend X amount of money per month. They're all they have access to is Medicaid.
Hmm.
Um, but now Medicaid's being gutted,
Right.
right? And so it's like, it's almost like now I'm I'm coming to the conclusion, and a lot of people would say, "Way too late, buddy." that maybe Dr. Potter's right, and like we need to think seriously about how we can do kind of what Mark Cuban's doing on the pharmacy
Hmm.
side. Cut out this middleman.
Right.
Cut out insurance without sacrificing accessibility.
Yeah,
I think
that's the tricky
that's
part.
key because I don't want to leave millions of people behind
Yeah.
who have no other option. And that's what makes this so hard is that the way we have built healthcare around health insurance.
Yeah.
It's so hard for us to extricate ourselves from
Disentangle
that.
it. Yeah.
But that's what we have to do now. It's becoming too predatory not to.
Right.
And and smarter people than me can figure out exactly how to do that.
Well, and there may not be just one way. Like there's
Yeah.
maybe multiple approaches that people could take depending on their situation. I don't know.
I mean, I've seen, going back years, I remember going to ophthalmology conferences and they'd have sessions where it's like, how to get out of Medicare.
Hmm. Yeah, like we don't want to accept Medicare
Right. You're like, how
patients
to
anymore
just
because
basically
it doesn't.
just go cash pay for
Yeah.
everything.
Right, which you don't. That's not good.
And that's not, I think, what I'm talking about, what other people are talking about. But
Right.
the idea of just having a one-to-one kind of patients pay physicians for what they do system is what a lot of people would love to go to.
Hmm.
Again, my concern is who's able to access that and who's not.
Right.
And so, obviously this is where the US differs from a lot of other countries.
Hmm.
Like Australia, I always use them as an example because
Yeah.
they seem to find a right balance of having a private system, but also a public system that's just much more robust and well funded.
Right. That's the key. The public
So,
system has to be good, and then if you want extra, you can
yeah,
pay for that.
but
But
and it's not just like how do we get out of insurance? It's like insurance is going to their lobby is so strong that they're going to fight any
yeah.
possible
Well, and
pathway
someone's
to
going to
doing this.
say, well, if we just pay physicians for their services, then what's to stop physicians from raising prices so high that we can't afford them? Or, one of your favorite arguments from keeping people sick so they can make more money or,
Right. I mean, then you're hoping that the free market will figure
right.
that out.
And if you have a physician who's keeping you sick, you can go next door to a different physician. And
Because right now we
yeah.
don't really have what people would love to refer to as the free market.
Right.
We have monopolies.
Yeah.
We have these health insurance companies that are so massive and so powerful.
And vertically integrated.
Right. So they're fixing costs, they're fixing prices, and it's ruining everybody.
And you don't even get to know what the prices are. Like, not even the doctors know. For, like if you just go to your doctor and they say, you need this, test or scan, and you're like, great, how much will that cost? They have to go, like, do a bunch of
Yeah.
work to try to figure that out for you. It's
Yeah.
not like, the rest of the free market where there's like a price right next to the description
Yeah.
of the thing.
I mean, we were supposed to have price transparency in hospitals, but I think it's still buried and hard to find.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't know the first place. And I'm like an educated person married
Yeah.
to a physician. Like, how are you supposed to find that? If I
Yeah.
can't find that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know like where to go. We need like smart people like Dr. Potter to guide us.
Yeah. I do think like the point she was making was not this is what everyone should do. The point she was making, she proposed that as an
Yeah.
example, but the real point was let's start thinking about this. Like, we don't have to just accept the way that it is as the way that it has to be. So, like, let's just start thinking about alternatives, like as patients, but also as physicians.
Right.
That you guys are working in the healthcare system. Like, what are some creative, out of the box solutions that we could come up with to,
It's just, I think it's kind of just a different way of thinking.
Yeah, we're just
about it,
used to the
right?
status quo, and she's trying to say, like, hey, let's shake it up a little bit.
Yeah. And like you want to, we're kind of trained to think like, oh, without insurance, everything is going to be way too expensive. But how much does like just having to go
Having
through
your
insurance
insurance.
inflate the
Yes.
cost of
I
everything?
think
right?
that's the thing that the general layperson that doesn't get discussed or realized, that
Yeah.
yes, it costs that much when you have your insurance. You see the bill from the insurance company that says, well, the cost was this, but we brought it down to where you only have to pay this. And what doesn't get said is the cost was only that in the first place because we inflated it to be that
Yeah.
in our negotiations with the hospital. So what's not there is what it would have cost had it been self-pay, so that you can compare.
So I think what I'll do next is after the break is like talk about in my practice some of the challenges we've had with payers and like getting those contracts and what that actually means.
Payers meaning like health insurance
companies. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. All right, so I want to just give like a real world kind of example here, just to put this into perspective for people who maybe are not in healthcare, who are their patients themselves, but they don't like see, like they hear about like physicians' practices are struggling, but like they don't really see that, right? Like I feel like as physicians, we do a really pretty decent job of smoothing things over for patients the best we can.
Right. In ways that the patients don't ever, we as
Right.
patients don't ever see.
Right. So, but just to give you an idea of like the power that these health insurance companies have over us as physicians, like we're not in charge of healthcare.
You don't set the prices.
Well, no,
and
just
like
in general, physicians.
Yeah.
Like people think that
that is a huge misconception. Yes.
we have the power here. People think that.
Because that's how it used to be, I think, right?
Well, sure, of course it was. Yeah.
and so,
we
like-
had a lot more agency over our profession.
Yeah.
That has not been the case for a long time.
And that has not been advertised that that's not the case. So people haven't been updated about that.
Right. And so, and I want to preface this by saying like we understand like physician, like we're doing fine, like financially physicians are okay. We're doing okay. But there's a difference between between that and being able to sustain a functioning practice. And so I'm talking mostly about private practice here. Academics is a slightly different world. Big hospital systems are a little bit different, but my experience comes from the private practice. So, but that's where you'll find, in rural communities and smaller communities, it's primarily private practices, right?
Yeah, they don't have the great big university hospitals.
Yeah, it's really important for private practice like Dr. Potter's to be able to function and thrive and continue to provide services for patients that might not have a lot of other options. So our practice is every year we look at all our rates that we get from all the different payers. And when I say rates, I mean like for the services we provide, like what is the reimbursement that we get from health insurance companies? We're constantly looking at that and negotiate. Every year we have to negotiate every year. And
because who says?
Because our contracts are a year at a time.
Okay.
And so, when I say contract, I mean like we sign a contract. I'll just use like me as an, say I was a solo practitioner. I had my own practice. It was just me. In order to see United Healthcare patients or Aetna or Blue Cross, I have to sign a contract that they give me that says we will pay you X amount.
X amount meaning like a certain percentage?
I do an exam, a diabetic eye exam. I sign a contract that says that United, they will pay me X amount for that service.
So it's a menu of services.
Yeah.
And the price for each service, what they will give you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a contract, they will pay you that. Okay. Now, if you're a large practice like I'm in, all right, we have like 40 something MDs, you have more negotiating power. So I am able to, I say we have a wonderful admin team. We have a lot of people. So we have a lot of patients that have to have us in our community. Like we are the major presence for ophthalmology in the community.
Right.
So we have power in our numbers and how large we are.
Yeah.
So we have the ability to negotiate and
maybe better rates than
and get better rates, get better reimbursement. And what we're constantly trying to do is just get these health insurance companies to pay us on par with the rest of the community.
What does that mean?
For the services that we provide, just basically competitive rates, because we're not the only ophthalmologists out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to make sure that we are getting competitive payment.
So what they are offering to other ophthalmology groups that they are offering
exactly.
a similar
so we're just trying to that's all we're trying to maintain and make sure it makes sense with comparing what Medicare pays, and we're always trying to keep things. But it's every year for the past few years with a couple payers, we've had to send letters out to our patients saying, look, they are lowballing us. They're refusing to increase their rates what they should based on inflation, based on whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to have to, at the end of the year, we're going to have to drop United Healthcare or Aetna or whatever it is.
Okay. And then the patients might think, well, so what? Like, you make plenty of money, so why can't you?
Well, here's the thing. You'd be surprised. The tide is turning. Patients, because we send letters out to them saying exactly why we're making this decision.
Yeah. Like it was the insurance company that decided to go this route.
Insurance also sends their own letters to those same customers saying, we're sorry that your doctors decided to drop you from their coverage.
Right.
So there's a battle going on over these, and these patients are receiving all of this from both sides. And so far, every year we've won out. We have gotten the rates that we wanted, but that's only because we're as large as we are.
Yeah.
When you
but you're saying the rates that we wanted, and so just listening as a patient and trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who, doesn't have a lot of money for healthcare. I might be thinking, again, who cares if they're not giving you the rate you want? I need healthcare, and you make plenty of money. You make, salaries that are really high, and,
we have to be able to pay our bills for our staff. And we're operating a business here.
Right.
So we can't, and that's actually the same argument that insurance uses against us.
Right. What I'm trying to do
playing into your altruism, and like, you should accept what we offer you for reimbursement because
you took an oath.
You took an oath to take care of these people.
Right.
And we're actually fighting against that.
Yeah.
That's been the case for a long time. No,
to be clear.
What
the insurance companies,
the shenanigans that they're.
Yeah.
But what my point is from all this is that, we have a certain amount of power to be able to renegotiate.
Yeah.
That people like Dr. Potter, solo or one or two or three MD practices don't have this ability.
Right.
And so what ends up happening is they have to either accept the rates of, I'll take United as an example, which is a good example. They have to either accept United's rates, which are going to be below market, because they know, oh wait, this is only this is a small practice.
They can't negotiate, so we're going to take advantage of that.
Well, we're much bigger than them. We're going to take advantage. And if you keep doing that as as costs go up year after year, eventually you're not going to be able to function as a practice.
Mhm.
You're not going to be able to pay your bills, which is why Dr. Potter is having to, try to get donations, just to keep her practice afloat. I mean, there's other extenuating circumstances, like they are retaliating against her.
Right.
But still, the point remains. That's how small practices are getting pushed out.
Yeah.
And they're having to either get bought out by private equity or even United Healthcare or, these big hospital conglomerates. It's the death of private practice, which harms rural communities, and it just is a snowball effect.
Right.
And so it's so the idea of cutting out insurance altogether is very it's a what's the word?
Attractive?
Attractive. It's an attractive option.
Yeah.
For people in private practice right now.
Yeah.
And it's just becoming more and more attractive as we keep getting our reimbursement cut. Medicare keeps cutting it, and then obviously the health insurance companies they look at Medicare rates and they'll base their negotiations off of Medicare rates.
Right.
And so that's going to keep going. It just doesn't keep up with costs. And eventually you just can't run a practice anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And so, I mean, I think I'm on board. Like, I would love to be able to just cut out insurance. How do you do it? How do you do it? It's not as easy as like just turning it off.
Right. And maybe it doesn't get cut out entirely. Maybe there's like these extenuating circumstances where someone might use insurance or something. But
it can't, it can't be like a unilateral physician's just going to make this decision. It's got to be, you got to have buy-in from patients too.
Yeah.
Because that's the other piece of it. Is if patients are still going to be buying into these Medicare Advantage plans, these very expensive private insurance plans, well, they're not going to want to go somewhere that's cash pay because, like, what are we? I'm paying all this money for health insurance.
Yeah.
So it's got to be both sides have to come together.
And I think that is why
it is
what I'm doing with my like poking questions is trying to provide what it looks like from the patient perspective, because everyone who is in healthcare kind of, and this isn't just healthcare, any industry, you're in your industry, you know it so well that you forget what it's like to not know it so well.
Yeah.
And to not have the insider knowledge that you do have. So it's super important if we're going to reach that goal for more physicians to be talking about how does it work? Why are we not the villain here? Like, you have to understand how it looks from the outside without the knowledge that you have as physicians. If you're a patient and you're hearing certain things from your insurance company and you've never been told that things have changed from, the way that it used to be where doctors had all this agency, and you just assume, well, I go to the doctor and then I pay a bill. That means I'm paying the doctor.
Yeah.
Right. And the doctors are setting the prices and the doctors have control over, whether I'll need certain things that cost money. You have to look at it from their perspective and understand like which pieces are missing that we need to fill in those gaps. We need to educate the general public about how the system works. Like we need to be talking about it and bringing it into the light, because it's just stuff that happens behind closed doors and nobody knows, and it's complicated.
And maybe the answer is actually that physicians just have to take the leap and cut out insurance, and then patients will adjust. I don't. It's going to be. I think.
I don't know. I don't think patients like health insurance either. So
exactly.
I think that
maybe it'll be easier then than I'm thinking. I just to loosen up the stranglehold that insurance has on patients is going to be really tough.
Yeah. I mean, that's
it's
like
going to be
patients
painful one way or the other.
Are basically being held hostage by
do
the
it.
insurance companies, but we just don't know it, right? Like we don't get to see all the behind the scenes stuff that shows just how much control that they have.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that, people like Dr. Potter, people like you, right, are making content that goes out into the world and shows people how this works.
Yeah.
And I think that we will benefit if more and more people do that.
I'm just going to keep making my silly videos.
Yeah. That's your lane.
Let's keep telling
That's where you're
jokes.
making a difference. And other people have different lanes.
That's true.
And together, it's a whole highway, right?
I love it. All right. That's Knock Knock. What are we doing? Hi. That's our Glauc talk for today. I have a serious conversation, but it's just very thought-provoking. And
it is.
I don't know.
No one right answer. That's very clear.
I would love a one right answer. Can we have that?
That would be much easier.
Just like, what's the blueprint? Like, do this, then this, then this, and healthcare's fixed. I would like three steps max.
I'll tell you what, though. I know that I would rather have it be people who have taken an oath to do what's best for patients, figuring out what we should do, than people who have taken an oath to shareholders.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's just me.
No, I agree, obviously. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have the answer to healthcare.
Yeah. Who can solve this?
Email us, knockknock@human-content.com. Visit us on our social media platforms. Hang out with our Human Content Podcast family over on Instagram and TikTok, Human Content Pods. Thanks to all the great listeners leaving feedback and reviews. If you subscribe and comment on your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube, we can give you a shout out over at our YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens, by the way. Check it out. At Robert Guerrero 8063 on YouTube said, I usually listen on Apple Podcasts, but this episode was so funny I had to watch again with the video. This was an absolute gem. I encourage all of you to watch twice on 2 different platforms.
Sure.
It's great. Listen to us first.
We need to start
come back and watch us.
Hiding little Easter eggs to incentivize people.
Oh, that's a good idea. People love the Easter eggs. Taylor Swift does it all the time.
Exactly. That's what I had in mind. Yeah.
We got to come up with some Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We gotta get on it.
Full video episodes are up every week on that YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens. We also have a Patreon. Lots of cool perks, bonus episodes, react to medical shows and movies. Knock Knock High. Member community. What am I saying? We're a great little community over there at Knock Knock High, Patreon, patreon.com/Glaucomflecken, or go to glaucomflecken.com to find out more. Speaking of Patreon community perks, new member shout out. We got a nice shout out here. We got Janice F, Susan D, Brigitta. Sorry, Brigitta M, and Rebecca R.
Welcome.
We're so glad to have you. You'll all receive your job assignments shortly. Can't guarantee they're going to have anything to do with what your expertise is in, but that's the way it goes with burgeoning communities. Shout out to all the Jonathans as usual: Patrick Lucia C, Edward K, Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C, Brianna L, Mary H, Keith G, Parker, Muhammad L, Kaylee A, David H, Gary M, Eric B. Is it Eric B? Eric or B? Just Eric B. Eric B, Marlene S, Scott M, Kelsey M, Brian S, Sean M, Jessica M, Hawkeye MD, Bubbly Salt, and Shawnee D. Thank you all. Our virtual head nod to you all. Patreon Roulette Time random shout out to some of the emergency medicine tier. Shout out to Laura K for being a patron. And thank you all for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Krista Planner, also known as the Glaucomfleckens. Executive producers are Will Ferdinand, Krista Planner, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brick. Editor, engineer, Jason Portiza. Our music is by Omer Benzvi. To learn about Knock Knock High's program, disclaimer, ethics, policy, submission, verification, licensing terms, and HIPAA release terms, go to glaucomflecken.com or reach out to us, knockknockhigh@human-content.com with questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Knock Knock High is a Human Content production.
Knock, knock, goodbye.
Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Help you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.